What's going on? My bad, guys. Whoa, hold on. What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be doing an oil change on my truck, and I know there's a ton of videos out there on YouTube that pretty much show you how to do it, and even in more depth than what I'm going to say. But I just decided I'd make a video and show you guys how I do it. Maybe some of you guys like my method. I do it almost the same as everyone else. But yeah, I just decided to make a video for those who actually like watching my videos and like me. Well, you guys don't like me, you like my trucks and cars. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I like to do is pretty much just jack it up. The hard part about having a truck like this that's really low is you need a really small, I'm gonna call it oil pan, I don't know what they're called, but like the little plastic cans or pans that you get at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's, whatever, that you put your oil in. So I need a really thin, small one for this truck, but it'd be nicer to have a bigger one that has like a cap and everything like that. But that's all I got. And then once you do that, you jack it up. There's pretty much a nut in your oil pan that you just loosen up, and yeah, you let everything go in there. For a faster process, what I like to do, take my cap off my valve cover. It'll just go a lot faster. And also, when I'm draining it, because when I jack it up from that side, so it goes up like this, and the drain plug hole, whatever, I don't know what to call it, is on that side, so it kind of goes over here. So when it's like that, I like to kind of lower it, not crush the pan, just lower it a bit, so all the oil that's in there, all of it, you're not gonna get it out, but a majority of it, as much as I can get it out of there, all that dirty oil. And yeah, every time you do an oil change, I really do recommend, and I don't see why you shouldn't, but change your oil filter, because if you don't, then I don't know really what would happen, but I just don't recommend doing it. Alright, so when you have your new oil filter like this right here, you usually want to get some oil, like the oil that you're going to run, or even old oil, it doesn't really matter. Just get some oil and put it around right here on the O-ring, because if you tighten this, it'll just, rip and crack your O-ring, and that defeats the purpose of having an O-ring there. The reason this is here is just so when you tighten it up against your motor, oil doesn't seep out and leak and burn on your block and all that. So that's why you want to put oil on this. And I would put oil inside, but the way mine sits, there's some cars that you can put it like, it goes upside down or through the bottom like this, but mine goes directly like this, horizontal on the side of the block, and if I were to put it in, it's all gonna come out. So like right now when I took mine out, it was just leaking, so I got a rag, put it under, and went like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna put any inside, just to run the O-ring, and then just stick it back in. Once all your old oil is out, dang, that's black, like black. But once that's all out, you got your filter on there pretty tight. You don't want to get like an actual tool and just crank it until it's like super tight. Just hand tight, and that should be good enough. You don't need to crank it any tighter, because you might strip the little like the doohickey that comes out, that threads on it. And once you've done that, then you want to put your plug back in the oil pan. Don't forget that, because if you forget that, you put your new oil in, you move aside your oil pan, or whatever that's called, the collecting pan, and all your new oil just goes down in your driveway, and that's not fun. So always be sure, put your nut in before you do anything else. Just if you forget, check, make sure it's down there. And to tighten that, do it a little more than hand tight. So hand tight, you can't go a little bit more, get your ratchet or whatever, tighten it a bit more, but don't fully crank it, because if you strip that, you can't get your oil out. So yeah, just tighten it. You should know when's a good amount, when's not. Don't fully tighten it, but don't also leave it loose, because you will leak from there. Once you've done all of that, you get yourself your oil, and you just fill her up. My engine takes about, I think, like it takes I think 3.5 quarts, but I always like to run a little bit more than what it says. So like 3.75, if that makes sense. Or 3/4, whatever you want to say. So yeah, just because a little bit more oil won't hurt. My engine does burn a bit of oil, so when it burns, it'll go a little lower and lower. And I always carry oil with me just in case if it burns a little too much. Just fill her up. Old truck problems. I know I really need to get this thing rebuilt, but yeah, that's just how I go about doing my thing. And yeah, it's a super simple process, and yeah, it's kind of hard to mess up, but if you do mess up, you can mess up really bad. So just be careful doing this. And yeah, time to fill up the beast. Alright there, guys, is how you do an oil change. It's really simple, like I was just saying. And yeah, now I'm just going to take the leftover oil, well, the oil that was in the engine, back to AutoZone. You can take it to any of your auto parts stores, most of them, and they'll recycle it for you for free. So yeah, I'm going to go do that, and I'm also going to get oil for this, so when I get my engine I don't have to go to the store and grab oil. I already have it. Hopefully I get the engine sometime this week. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm about to text the dude, the shop that's building it for me, and see what's going on. But yeah, you guys probably don't care because you clicked on the video for the oil, not the 240. But yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.